This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
Are you tired of driving that old shoebox that makes your knees question your life choices? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because this is the Grand Highlander. And no, it's not just a Highlander, but bigger. It's grand. But does it have what it takes to be the best three-row mid-size SUV of all time? The talk of the town. The belle of the ball. Join me as we take it through our deep dive tests to find out. So we're up here at the ranch to do our slip test, and the idea here is to get the tire stuck on rollers on purpose so we can test how different cars deal with getting different tires stuck in a zero traction situation. Now the first test is going to be both front wheels are stuck on the rollers while the rears need to get us unstuck. We're not going to be using any special modes. We're going to be just in normal mode so we can see just how easy it is for us to get unstuck. This does have a couple modes. We've got Eco, Sport, and Trail. I want to see if we can do all of this just in normal, but if we have to, we'll try Trail. All right, let's give her a little throttle. Easy peasy. On to the next. Okay, on this next test is going to be the diagonal test. So the right front and the left rear tires are going to be stuck on our rollers. Now, this Grand Highlander has the electronic on-demand all-wheel drive system, which hopefully will help us in this case because we need the car to send power to both the front and rear axles to get out of this situation. So let's put it in drive, get a little bit of light throttle, a little bit of spin, but too easy. Let's do the next. All right, now on this third test is definitely more difficult. We have all of the wheels stuck on rollers minus the right front. That's going to be the only one that's stuck on the pavement. Now this is a way more aggressive situation that you would likely ever find yourself in, but it really puts this all-wheel drive system to the test. So let's see if we can get out still in normal mode. Let's give it a light throttle. A little bit of spin. Ooh, but we got through. Still in normal, no trail. Let's change it up. All right, now this fourth test, all the tires are going to be on rollers minus the right rear. And because this has that electronic on-demand all-wheel drive system, it's going to utilize the electric motors in the rear wheels to provide power and traction when needed. So hopefully we can send all that power and traction to that right rear wheel. That's hard to say. All right, let's give it some light throttle, see what happens. Ooh, a little bit of spin, but we still got out. All right, so that did pretty good, and all staying in normal mode. Didn't even have to go to a more aggressive drive mode. It got out of there quickly. It found traction where it needed to immediately. Very impressed. There are 3 powertrains available in the Grand Highlander. The 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, the 2.5 liter hybrid 4-cylinder, and the 2.5 liter turbocharged hybrid 4-cylinder. This Grand Highlander is sporting the 2.5 liter hybrid engine with 2 electric motors made it up to that eCVT. It is producing 245 horsepower, 175 pound-feet of torque. Zonks. But if power is what you're after, then the Max Power has exactly what you want. Maximum power. That 2.5 liter turbocharged hybrid 4-cylinder is mated up to a 6-speed automatic with an electric motor, and it's producing 365 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque. That is quite a jump. But if you don't need all that power, then this Nightshade Hybrid would be a great choice. It's based on the XLE trim, which brings Toyota's signature blackout package to the Grand Highlander. But come here, I gotta show you. Yeah. So with the blackout trim, it's gonna give you things like the black eyelids over the LED headlights, this black little thin mustache, a gloss black grille with the black trim underneath. It also comes with gloss black 20-inch wheels. We got black skull caps, black door handles, not to mention, got a black spoiler and some black trim, but the Grand Highlander is a little more subtle. About as subtle as this paint. This paint is cement, which is kind of boring. cement. It's got a hands-free liftgate for easier access when your hands are full, but where I'm mostly impressed is this cargo space. You've got 20 cubic feet behind the third row, but when you drop down these third row seats, it jumps up to 60 cubic feet. But when you drop down these second row seats, it actually jumps up to 97 cubic feet, and that's more than the Sequoia. Underneath the subfloor, you'll even find a little space saver spare, although it is a little difficult to get to. To top it off, this can tow up to 3,500 pounds, but if you get the max power, it can tow up to 5,000 pounds. The Grand Highlander is a mid-size SUV, so it has more of a sophisticated, boxier presence versus the crossover Highlander. But does that mean that it's going to affect your MPG? Apparently not. The EPA rating for the Grand Highlander is 34 combined, 36 city, 32 highway. Let's put that to the test on our Bucky 70 MPG loop and see just how accurate it is. All right, trips reset, let's hit the road. This video is brought to you by our friends at Grainger Warranty, the leading online manufacturer-backed extended warranty dealer in the country. With Grainger, you can save up to $1,000 on your extended factory-backed warranty, and they'll fix your ride like this Toyota Grand Highlander with OEM parts installed by OEM-trained techs. Check out GraingerWarranty.com or click on that link below. As someone who's in the market for a family SUV, obviously, safety features are one of the top priorities, and the Grand Highlander has Toyota's Safety Sense 3.0 with pre-collision, which comes with things like adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist, and so far this is working pretty well. It's staying pretty centered in the lanes, and one of the things I look out for the lane keep assist feature is how much it bounces back and forth between the lines. Now, this is definitely still a hands-on feature, but I just kind of want to show you that it is staying pretty centered. I don't have to intervene really at all. It's not bouncing from one lane to the other. It's doing a pretty good job. All right, we have just exited Buc-ee's for our official halfway point. And so far we are averaging 33.4 miles, but it has been a little bit of climbing to get up here. So let's see what it gets to by the time we get back. Now let me show you the front. First off, it is very spacious in here. It has a lot of hard plastic surfaces, but it does also have quite a few soft press surfaces, so it does even out a little bit. But my favorite thing as far as materials go is there's like no piano black anywhere. It's this more matte finish black material, which I'm very happy to see because it's not going to show up dust, scratches, stuff like that as easily. So that makes me very, very happy. It's got two 12.3-inch screens with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and of course my favorite, physical buttons for your temperature controls. This is where you're going to find options for your ventilated and heated leather front seats. It's got a leather wrapped heated steering wheel with a good amount of buttons, but also it has quite a few charging areas. It's got 3 USB ports here, one next to the passenger side open cubby, which is really nice to have. It's got a wireless phone charger, an actual shifter, love to see, but this is cool. We've got 2 cup holders here and a large cubby to fit a giant water bottle. How nice is that? So the pump said we needed 2.9 gallons and we drove a total of 74.3 miles. So 74.3 divided by 2.9 gallons, it's actually only giving us 25.6 mpg, which is significantly less than what this calls for with a combined 34 mpg. Now, I do want to mention, it's been very windy today. It's also very hot today. It is 101 degrees, and these types of factors can certainly affect your mpg on a certain loop. But to the best of my abilities, you know, we went the speed limit, but I wasn't hypermiling or anything like that. This is just kind of a normal real world review, but with kind of some extreme situations like high wind and high temperatures. The ride is relatively comfortable. It's got an independent McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension with a stabilizer bar. Now, it doesn't necessarily ride like a cloud, but it does do a good job at soaking up the bumps and the expansion joints on the road. But it does have a little bit of body roll when you're going around corners, but that's kind of expected when it comes to a 3-row midsize SUV. My main gripe is how loud that ECVT is under hard acceleration. It's pretty loud. It's also a little slow off the line, you know, especially with only 175 pound-feet of torque, 245 horsepower. However, both of those issues could be resolved with that max power. The second row, honestly, just as spacious, if not more. I have tons of legroom, not to mention tons of headroom. Plus, I've got my own temperature controls back here, and you'll notice the outboard seats are actually heated. So Grand Highlanders can be spec'd out to have 7 or 8 passengers. This is the 7 passenger, which means we have 2 comfortable little captain seats here. But in the middle, we have a removable cubby for easier access into the third row. What I like about this is it's got quite a few little cubbies in here, plus even more cup holders. Not to mention even more charging areas. We've got 2 more USB-Cs here and a 1500 watt household outlet. And you can't forget, it's got sunshades for the kiddos in back too. I will be, oh God. Okay. In the third row is where this is actually gonna make quite a difference. You can recline these seats, which is really nice. But this is a proper third row. I'm 5'7" for reference, and I still have headroom and some legroom to spare. This is 5.5 inches of extra legroom and 2.5 inches of extra headroom. Not to mention 2 more USB-C ports and even more cup holders. For a pregnant woman in her 3rd trimester, I'd say this passes. Now, my man is on the taller side. He's 6'4", so usually he drives with the seat all the way back. And when you've got, let's say, 2 kiddos that are in reverse car seats, sometimes you're gonna have to put a car seat behind the driver, which means, depending on how much space you have, the driver's gonna lose a little bit of that legroom for ultimate comfortability. So let's see if the Grand Highlander will pass the car seat test. Da, 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 da. The car seat base. The car seat test. I have the front seat back all the way. Ooh, and it does hit. So let's see how much it has to go forward. Because we don't want it to touch. So a little bit. So you can't put them all the way back, but it's not too compromised. Toyota takes the cake when it comes to offering SUV options. And this Grand Highlander is a great mixture between the Sequoia and the Highlander. It offers the most cargo volume. It has a legitimate 3rd row for adults, and it's in more of a more manageable size for on-road driving. The Grand Highlander starts at $42,000 base price, which is right in line with the Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade, but this Nightshade hybrid is at a little over $56,000. All right, let's recap, shall we? It completely nailed it on all of the slip tests. It didn't have to use trail mode. You know, we were able to use everything in normal, and it got out quick. So I'm very impressed with that. for our MPG loop. Well, it didn't do quite as we expected, averaging at a little over 25 MPG. However, I will say it was really windy out and it was super hot out at 101 degrees, and those are two variables that are certainly going to affect your MPG. But with a combined rating of 34 MPG, I certainly don't think that's anything to scoff at. With our car seat test, it did pretty good. You did have to move the driver's seat up a little bit. You couldn't put it all the way back. However, for a mid-size SUV, I kind of didn't expect you to be able to put the seat all the way back. So I do still think that it did a good job there. Maybe not 100% pass with flying colors, but there's only so much you can do with a mid-size SUV. But to top it off, it looks good. It has a fantastic interior with great amenities like heated and ventilated seats, a heated steering wheel, the sunshades, 13 cup holders, and 7 USB ports. I mean, this thing is perfect for a little family hauler. It may not be the #1 out there as far as our tests go, but I certainly think that it should be something that you should consider. Check out alltfl.com for even more content. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is Jen. We'll see you next time. Buddy. Oh God, I can't roll that.
Sorry, honey.
Oh, it's supposed to open. Full, but where you will be. It's gonna be the end of us. Mary